Good afternoon, guys. It is Wednesday, 5 p.m. and I am in a hotel room in Berlin. And well, this is not the video that I was expecting to make today. So what happened? Well, I was supposed to leave Berlin tonight on a night train. I was booked on the OBB Nightjet, which is an Austrian train, and those are apparently the best night trains in Europe. And yeah, so I booked that train from Berlin to Brussels, and I was supposed to leave in about 2.5 hours. However, the German national train company, Deutsche Bahn, is on strike. And they are on strike for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and absolutely nothing is running. Now you might be wondering, why did you book this train if there is a strike going on? And well, I booked it 10 days ago, and at that time there was absolutely no sign of any strike. And also, this is a completely different company. This is the OBB, not the DB, so I thought that they would be able to run their trains even though the DB is on strike, but as it turns out, they can't. Because it's not just a few DB trains, it is the entire country. So yeah, this morning I was finishing my Berlin video and I got the email from OBB that everything got cancelled. So what am I gonna do now? Well, I got a few options, but to be honest, none of them are all that good. Luckily, I got a late checkout here at the hotel because I have status with the parent company, so I don't have to leave too early. But yeah, I am trying to find a solution to get out of Berlin because, to be honest, I don't really want to spend another night here. And it is already 5 p.m. But yeah, let's see what happens. I still have 1 hour before I get kicked out of this hotel room here, and I'll have to find a way out of here until then, or I'll have to get a new hotel. Let's see how this story unfolds. At this point, there were 3 options to travel west to either France, Belgium or Luxembourg. Option number 1, getting a plane the next morning. That was, however, not a good solution. Flights were very expensive and I would have had to pay for another night at the hotel. Option number 2 was FLIXBUS, but at 5 p.m. all the routes that made sense for me were fully booked. That left me with option number 3, going to the train station in the hope of finding some kind of connection that was actually running. So that's what I did. The people working at the DB Travel Center weren't all that helpful. Because of the strike, I could use my ticket on any train going in the direction of Brussels, including high-speed trains. However, as it turned out, the DB had no clue about their own cancellations. They gave me a piece of paper with a possible itinerary via Dortmund, but after checking online, I found out that those 2 trains had already been cancelled. To make a long story short, the DB agents in Berlin were sending customers onto trains that didn't exist. Well done, Deutsche Bahn. Anyways, at this point I had pretty much given up and got some food at a place called Hans im Glück. But then there was a development. After double checking the FLIXBUS app, I found out that the night bus to Luxembourg wasn't fully booked after all. Apparently, somebody had cancelled and I managed to snatch the last seat on the bus. It was expensive, but probably the best option. Mind you, it was already 8:15 p.m. and the bus would be leaving at 9:15, but the bus station was quite far away from the Hauptbahnhof. I quickly called a Bolt taxi and made my way to the bus station. Let's see if FLIXBUS can save the day. Alright guys, we have made it to Berlin's central bus station, which is nowhere near the center, and yeah, I hope that this place won't be super sketch. The sketch levels weren't too bad at 9 p.m, but there was only one tiny waiting room inside a container. This bus station is enormous and they have connections to every corner of Europe. But there's nothing to do here, so no need to arrive early. Luckily, I didn't have to wait long before my bus pulled into the station. This is FLIXBUS N780 traveling between Berlin and Paris. Luxembourg is one of many stops along the way, and my journey will take around 11 hours. So what is FLIXBUS like these days? Well, this is a low-cost bus and the seats aren't all that comfortable. But having taken FLIXBUS many times in the past, I can say that their punctuality is generally on point. On this journey, we left bang on time and I managed to fall asleep pretty quickly, probably because I was so tired from talking to Deutsche Bahn agents all afternoon. On the way to Luxembourg, we passed through Leipzig, Jena, Wetzlar, Koblenz, Wittlich and Trier. The bus would then continue to Thionville, Metz, Verdun and Reims before arriving in the French capital. The bus was pretty full and my sleep was broken up many times due to the stops. But by the time I was fully functional again, we were in Trier, close to the Luxembourgish border. As we are approaching dawn, let's have a closer look at this bus. As you might expect, the seats are very standard, but they do recline and there are plugs and USB charging points. The Wi-Fi was slow, but it kept working throughout the entire journey. The biggest surprise was that even after almost 10 hours on the road, the loo was still reasonably clean and there was soap and water. I have to say that on most of my previous FLIXBUS journeys, this wasn't the case. Another novelty is that FLIXBUS now sells coffee and beverages. They still don't offer any food though, and on this particular journey, the bus did not stop at a gas station or anywhere else where you could have bought food. So yeah, bring your own grub. We arrived in Luxembourg at 8:40 AM, 20 minutes behind schedule. It is now time to reveal the price. I paid €54.99, which is way too much. The price was obviously the result of the train strike and also the fact that I booked literally 1 hour in advance. On a normal day, you would pay around 20 to 30 euros for this journey. Anyways, FLIXBUS did save my day. There is nothing luxurious or fancy about them, but they are 10 times more reliable than Deutsche Bahn, which is frankly quite sad. And I guess that is my conclusion for today. I do realize that this video is a bit random, but I wanted to tell the story of Germany's train strike from a traveler's perspective. As always, thanks very much for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye.